welcome back to Mountain Blade Warband. We left off just outside of Praven, and we are about to enter the city itself. Exploring the world map. I'll wait for that, actually. I'll wait for that. Praven. The town of Praven seems to be flourishing. The people look well-fed and relatively content. Craftsmen do a thriving business, and some migrants appear to be coming here from other regions to seek their luck. You see the banner of King Harlaus of Kingdom of Swadia over the town gates. The populace is indifferent to you. 0. So that means I currently have 0 out of negative 100 to 100 relation. Actually, I don't know if you can go negative with a city, but you can definitely go negative with people. So it may just be a 0 to 100 scale for the cities. Either way, I am basically indifferent to the people who live here because they don't know who I am. I'm a foreigner. This is my first time here. And first person I met basically tried to kill me, so I can only guess how the others are going to act. The text saying it seems to be flourishing, people look well fed, relatively content. All of that stuff is dependent on the wealth of the region, which I guess we'll leave this real quick. Coming from these villages nearby and the castles, caravans trading between different cities and factions. Then you'll see it says, you see the banner of King Harlaus of Kingdom of Swadia over the town gates, which means the king owns this city, and he is the Swadian king. This is the Swadian capital. You have several options here. You can take a walk around the street and actually walk around to do these options, which I'm going to do. I might not always do. I think I potentially could. I spawn outside the city. Sometimes you spawn inside the city. It's just some like paths out around here. They don't actually go anywhere. The only actual area you can walk around is inside the city. You can go first person. You can switch between third and first person. I don't know where to park my horse. Just park him over here. I kind of want to walk around. We'll do a little tour of First City. Oh, okay, so I guess I could have parked you over here. I was going the right way toward the horse merchant. As you can see over here, we just see some static horse models grazing on the water bin, which I love. The simpleness of this game is great. It doesn't need to be hyper-realistic. Those horses don't need to have everything, if you know what I'm saying. Good day, what can I do for you? Wait, that's not me, this is the horse merchant.
Hey, what can I do for you?
Thinking of buying a horse? Tell me, what are people talking about these days?
Well, nothing new lately. Prices, weather, the war, same old things.
I'm thinking of buying a horse.
You have fine eye for horses, sir. You won't find better beasts than these anywhere else.
Tutorial, this is the trade screen. Press X to quickly buy or sell the highlighted item. So, heavy saddle horse, saddle horse, saddle horse, stubborn sumpter horse. Okay, I've got a bad horse. Did not start with the best equipment, but I did start with some food. Now, this smoked fish, I don't know if I actually eat it. I don't know if my guy eats. I think it will go down by 1 every day, because I think I eat. But for every party member you have, your food will go down. I don't know if they just eat 1. I don't fully know how that works. I just make sure to say stocked up on food, and we will get to food. But anyway, this is the horse merchant screen. If I went just to go to marketplace, I could just...
Anything else?
Goodbye. If I went to the go to marketplace screen, I could just go to like a quick tab here and I don't have to walk around. It's super neat. Let's talk to this townsman. Good day, sir. Can you tell me about this town? How is life here? What is your trade? What is the latest rumor around here? I haven't heard anything interesting lately. What is your trade? I work in the breweries, make an ale. Poor folk drink a lot of it. It's cheaper than wine. We make it with grain bought in the country. We make it with grain brought in from the countryside. I hear that you can find a good price for it in Uxkhol. So that means I heard a bit of trading information, saying that if I, is it grain or ale? He said, if we make grain brought from the countryside, you can find a good price for it in Uxkhol. Honestly, I don't know if he's talking about the ale or the grain, which you can sell for a good price in Uxkhol. That one confuses me. But if you talk to people, they can tell you where you can buy something in one place and sell it higher in another place. And that's really interesting. What is your trade? Oh wait, that is what I just asked you. Never mind. How is life here? Time's hard, sir, but we must count our blessings. What can you tell me about this town? This is the town of Praven, sir. A town in the surrounding lands belonging to King Harlow's Kingdom of Swadia. We mostly produce bread, smoked fish, ale, wine, leatherwork, tools, wool cloth, and pottery here. If you would like to learn more, you can speak with our guildmaster. He is nearby, right over there. Okay. Thank you. Over here we have the Weaponsmith.
Good day, sir. What can I do for you?
I wonder if he'll say anything different. Tell me, what are people talking about these days?
Well, nothing new lately. Prices, weather, the war, same old things.
Alright, I want to buy a new weapon. Show me your wares.
Aye, yes, sir. These arms are the best you'll find anywhere.
Let's see what you have. You are a liar. These are not the best weapons because I have found better weapons before. They all probably just say the same things every time you talk to them, but, you know, I can buy weapons from here. I don't need anything, so goodbye. Here we have the armor. He's got some nice boots. These are actually a pair of boots you can't buy in the game. Just a static model. That's interesting, that. Looks like a white felt hat that you can't buy either. You displaying items I can't buy, sir? Armorer?
Good day. What can I do for you?
Tell me, what are people talking about these days?
Well, nothing new lately. Prices, weather, the war, the same old things.
I'm looking for some equipment. Show me what you have.
Of course, sir. You won't find better quality armor than these in Olga Radio.
Well, you aren't even selling me your things on display that I really would like to buy, 'cause those are some nice looking boots. These are actually some nice helmets. I will take this since I clearly have the money for it. As you see in the bottom right, I have 170 money. The currency in this game is called dinars. I believe it's a play on the Roman denari, or maybe denari, but that kind of sounds incorrect in my head, but I don't know. In the bottom left, you'll see that he has more money than me because, you know, he's got all this stuff. And you'll see when I scroll over items, they have buying price, weight, an armor value. I didn't go over the values of the horses, but that's because we're not really looking at the horses yet. But we are going to be looking at armor fairly soon. I guess at least hopefully if I have the money for it. And you'll see it says in the middle above my little character when I equip it, it'll originally say no cost, and it'll say you must pay this much. And since I have nothing to pay, it won't let me leave this menu if I have it equipped. But if I were to do this, it says I must pay 3 dinars. But I'm like, I'm actually really cheap, and I don't want to give you that money. Instead, I'll trade you this fish. Because that fish was worth 50 more, I get 50 dinars when I leave. But I leave with this cool, sturdy headcloth. Excuse me, I'm not going to do that. I would prefer the smoked fish. But that is how the trading system works in a very simple, quick summary.
Anything else?
No, goodbye. I think the tavern is up here. See some, like, drying blankets and rugs hanging from the windows. Is this the tavern? Is that the... This is the shop. So this is the just general goods merchant. He has an actual, or they have an actual indoor shop. Hello, ma'am. Got a nice little bedroom. Just rob you here. Look at through all your stuff. And all the items that they have on display are static items that you can get in your inventory that you can sell at a later date. I totally can't go up here, right? Yeah, no. So I think it's very, again, simplistic, easy, and just interesting. So let's talk to this merchant. Welcome, sir. What can I do for you? I want to buy a few items and perhaps sell some. What goods should I buy here to trade with other towns? And then this is an option. I believe maybe it'll send me straight into the thing. We'll see, where it will just take a few either hours or days, and you will get a quick manifesto of what items you should buy here and sell in other towns for potential profit. And most often I find that it isn't that useful, because prices are changing and varying so quickly that it is almost obsolete by the time you make it to the other city. But let's see what happens if I say this. That information can be best obtained from caravan masters and traveling merchants. If you want, I can send you to the district where foreign merchants stay at when they come to the town. Then I'll go and spend some time there with these merchants. No, I have no time for this right now. Anything else? I want to buy a few items and perhaps sell some. Sure. Here, have a look at my stock. So, some leather work. Now, these items weigh quite a bit, so they slow you down on the world map. Just got a good array of food, so when I have the money, I will definitely come back here. I like having well-stocked food. Sadly, the fresh food, like this pork and chicken, does not last long, but the smoked and dried meat lasts forever. The bread, grain, cabbage, and fruit don't go bad. Can't eat leather or flax, or even the ale. But I hear wool is pretty tasty. No, don't eat the wool. But that's basically all the merchants. Now the only other place we have to visit... Anything else? No, goodbye. The only other place we have to visit is the tavern. Now again, all towns are like this. I'm just going to do the walkthrough of Praven, but again, I might make a later video just showcasing all the different towns because I think they're so neat. They've all got their own little design that someone took their time to go through and make, like that little upturned basket. The fact that there's a big thing here. Before we go into the tavern, let's talk to this woman, because we haven't talked to a townswoman yet. Good day, sir. Again, the same options, so I might get some different responses here, but we'll see what townswoman says. What is the latest rumor around here? They say that Brulin Noyan is a cunning opponent. I always forget what that word means necessarily. I think it means agile and swift, but it could also mean with words instead of a sword. But what did you trade? I reckon the brewery's making... Okay, so literally the same thing that the other guy said. That's boring. But that's okay, because people are going to work the same jobs. It's not boring. How's life here? Times are hard, so we must count on blessings. Again, same thing. You can get different responses, but I think there's only a couple that you can get. And what can you tell me about this town? Again, same thing. And then after we visit the tavern, I guess there is one other person we will be speaking to that walks around. There are a few people that we can actually speak to in here. It looks like it's a pretty packed house. Book merchant.
Good day, sir. Will you be looking at my books?
This guy is a very expensive merchant, but can sell you some very valuable items. Yes, show me what you have for sale.
Of course, sir.
So we can buy De Re Militari, which, again, I'm guessing takes Italian influence. Reticura ad Herenium, again. The Book of Healing, The Life of Elixinus the Great. Essays on Logic, Manual of Arms, The Great Book of Surgery. Each of these requires some amount of intelligence to read. I guess not the Book of Healing. So I think my character can read a few of these, but not all of them. That one, these two you can also have. So these three you can just have in your inventory, and they will increase these skills by one. But these others you have to read throughout your journey. So you'll just have it in your inventory and slowly read it. But again, they are all fairly expensive, and I do not have that money at this moment. So,
Anything else?
nothing, thanks. We'll save talking to him for a moment. Here's a very high-end mercenary you can purchase.
Do you have need for mercenaries, sir? Me and 6 of my mates are looking for a master. We'll join you for 1,316 dinars.
That sounds good, but I can't afford to hire any more men right now. Sorry, I don't need any other men right now. I'm gonna say that sounds good.
That's a pity. Well, we'll be lingering around here for a while, if you need to hire anyone.
So him and 6 of his mates, so 7 men, would join my party, and again, they are fairly strong, so a good unit to buy if you need some last-minute troops to siege a city or just mess up some other war party. Here's a ransom broker. He brokers ransoms. What more is there to say?
Greetings to you, sir. You look like someone who should get to know me.
Why is that?
I broker ransoms for the poor wretches who are captured in these endless wars. Normally, I travel between the salt mines and the slave markets on the coast on commission from those whose relatives have gone missing. But if I'm out on my errands of mercy and I come across a fellow dragging around a captive or two, well, there's no harm in a little speculative investment, is there? And you look like the type who might have a prisoner to sell.
So, sleazy, to say the least. I didn't pull up this menu with the other people. It says I have 0 relation. He's just ransom broker. I hit view notes. We'll go into those screens later, but this doesn't really have anything to do with these characters. It just has to do more so with named characters such as the other lords of the game. But now from here we have a few options. If I just say that is all I need to know, thank you. It just kind of lets me then go to his normal interactive menu, but let's ask him some questions first. So like, what if their families can't pay their ransom? Oh, then I spin them a few heartwarming tales of life on the galleys. You'd be surprised what sort of treasures a peasant can dig out of his cowshed or wheedle out of his cousins, assuming he's got the proper motivation. And if in the end they cannot come up with the silver, then there are always slave merchants who are looking for galley slaves. One cannot do heaven's work with an empty purse, you see. Lovely. What can I get for a prisoner?
It varies. I fancy that I have a fine eye for assessing a ransom. There are a dozen little things about the man that will tell you whether he goes to bed hungry or dines each night on soft dumplings and goose. The real money, of course, is in the gentry, and if you ever want to do my job, you'll want to learn about every landowning family in Calradia, their estates, their heraldry, their offspring, both lawful and bastards, and, of course, their credit with the merchants.
Would you be able to ransom me if I were taken?
Of course. I'm welcome in every court in Calradia. There's not many who can say that. So always be sure to keep a pot of dinars buried somewhere, and a loyal servant who can find it in a hurry.
That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Anyway, if you have any prisoners, I'll be happy to buy them from you.
So this guy is going to be one of our best friends. Not necessarily this ransom broker, but there will be ransom brokers around the game where we can sell prisoners of war for profit. I honestly don't like doing it, but it is a way to make money. Maybe I'll try not to do it, but we'll see, because I do have to invest in the prisoner management skill to acquire prisoners, such as soldiers. So now I can ask him, tell me about what you do again, or I wish to ransom one of my companions, but I don't have any companions currently, so I'm just going to say, not this time, goodbye. Now who do we have here? A wandering bard. There are 6 different bard-esque type characters, each with a different title. Like Wandering Bard, Traveling, something. I can't think of all the names right now. I'm not going to go through them. We'll meet them throughout the game. And each of them can teach you a different poem. I'm guessing each one, in a sense, is like regional based. Like each, like I assume this bard teaches a more Nordic traditional song.
Greetings to you, most noble sir.
What is it you do?
I compose and write songs for the lords of the land and their ladies. Sometimes I sing about war, sometimes about the virtues of kings, and sometimes, for the more sophisticated audience, about the virtues of wine. For most audiences, however, I sing of love. Can I answer any other questions for you?
Tell me about marriage and love among the nobility of Calradia. Or, what is it that the poets and musicians do again? Tell me about marriage.
Nobles are an odd lot in Calradia. A daughter is a political asset to be given away to a lord with whom her father wishes to make an alliance. Yet, the great families of this land idealize pure love between man and woman, and I have seen many a hardened warrior weep copious tears at the doomed ardor of Sahira and Janoon in the songs, even as he made plans to break his own daughter's heart. Fathers differ, of course. Some Calradian nobles will let their daughters choose a husband who pleases them. Others, however, feel that to allow their daughters any choice at all would be to diminish their own authority and insist on imposing a groom whether she likes it or not. But the majority will steer a middle course. They will want to make the final decision about a groom, but will weigh their daughter's preferences heavily. Among other factors, a happy marriage is more likely to produce heirs, so there is a place for courtship and for the use of skill and passion to win a lady's heart. Do you have any other questions?
Is there a place for me in the game of love? Tell me about marriage. What if a lady and her father disagree about a suitor? What advantage is there in seeking a wife? What is it you do again? What advantage is there in seeking a wife?
Ah, you are quite the romantic, I see. Well, aside from the obvious benefits of love, companionship, and other, domestic matters, to marry among the nobility brings great assets. You may forge a strong alliance with the bride's family, and a wife may also assist you in manipulating the politics of the realm to your advantage. What's more, most of the great families of Calradia have at some point intermarried with royalty, which would boost your own claim to rule, should you ever choose to assert it.
What if a lady and her father disagree about a suitor?
It happens sometimes that a bride elopes. This is a major blow to the father's prestige, leading to lasting enmities. Indeed, it is possible that a war may be fought over a woman. Now, that is a fine topic for a song. In the end, however, most brides will submit to their parents' choice. A noble woman's family is everything to her, and a few are brave enough to risk its disapproval for the sake of man she barely knows. She may pine for her lover, but still accept the groom, and without tragic love, what would we have to sing about? Ha ha!
But is there a place for me in the game of love?
Of course! Calradian lords make a great deal of lineage, but in the end, lands and money speak louder than one's ancestors. Even though you are a foreigner, if you are coming up in the world, then many parents will consider you a fine catch. You will have to compete with many other lords of your realm, however, who will have an advantage. They have known these ladies from childhood and will have been sized up as grooms by carefully discerning mothers and aunts. Some ladies may be fascinated by the stranger, yet opt for the familiar. So, know this. You may have your heart broken, but to enter the arena of love fearing a heartbreak is like entering the battlefield fearing the enemy's arrows. Be brave and shrug off the sting of rejection, and victory may yet be yours.
Oh, this guy's such a pro. I love this guy. I think this is a new option that popped up. How to suitor meet a lady.
Every so often, a king or great lord of Calradia will hold a feast. In towns, they will often be accompanied by tournaments, and in castles, they will be accompanied by hunts. The feasts provide a chance for the lords to repair some of the rivalries that may undermine the strength of the realm. They also provide an opportunity for families to show off their eligible daughters, and ladies will often be allowed to mingle and supervise with the guests. If you have the opportunity, you may attempt to pay the lady a compliment. This indicates to her that you are a potential suitor, and she will usually know if she wishes you to continue your suit. Incidentally, if you come to her fresh from having distinguished yourself in the tournament or in the hunt, then you may make a stronger first impression than otherwise.
Oh my god, so many questions. They just keep popping up. Having met a lady, how would the suitor, woo her?
To woo a lady takes a certain amount of time and patience, and several meetings spaced over a period of months. A lady who is interested in you will often find ways of letting you know if she wishes you to come visit her. Alternatively, you may simply go and ask her father or brother for permission. If you do not have permission from her guardian, it may be possible to arrange an assignation through other means. Having arranged an assignment, you may then attempt to charm her and win her favor. Perhaps one of the most difficult aspects of this is finding a topic of conversation. Most Calradian noblewomen lead a cloistered life, at least until they are married, and thus will have little to say that will interest you. On the other hand, she will soon tire of hearing your own deeds in the outside world. One time-tested mode of courtship is simply to recite a popular poem and discuss it. This way, you are both on an equal footing, and neither will have an advantage in knowledge or experience. Of course, different ladies will have different tastes in poetry. At some point, you will be able to discuss directly the issue of marriage. She will then let you know if you measure up to what she wants in a husband. Some ladies will coolly assess who is the most prestigious of her suitors. Others will be guided by their passions. Some will look to your companions to see whether you are the kind of husband who will treat her as an equal, while others will follow the lead of their fathers. At any rate, it is a challenging business, and do not forget, you may find that your suit prospers with a lady only to have its falter on a father's political ambitions. So you must ask yourself, are you willing to risk disappointment and heartbreak? Alternatively, are you willing to throw away your standing in society to make enemies of allies in pursuit of a forbidden love? Because if you are, then perhaps someday we will write poems about you.
I loved that. I don't have any other questions.
You have any other questions?
No, that is all.
Is there anything else?
Oh my god. I'm not gonna ask about eligible maidens in the realm or of any ongoing feast, but I will ask about the poem. I'm not gonna have him teach me it right now, but I do wanna see what he says. Can you teach me any poems?
I can teach you the tale of Caius and Layla. It is a sad and simple story. The shepherd boy Caius and the nobleman's daughter, Layla, love each other, but they can never marry. The poem is Caius' lament as he wanders alone, unwilling to forget his true love, driving himself mad with longing. Some ladies melt at the sweetness of his sorrows, others glaze over at his self-pity. To teach it to you, I will need some hours of your time, and of course, a small fee for my services. About 300 dinars would suffice.
Never mind. So, again, there will be a different, not depending on where you are, but there are 6 different poets to meet. Now let's speak to the Tavern Keeper.
Good day, dear sir. How can I help you?
I guess I should leave now. Have you heard of anyone in this realm who might have a job for a man like myself?
Well, King Arlos is often looking for mercenaries to fight in his wars. Let me think some more. I have heard that Count Rockbarth has been asking around for someone who might want work. I'd watch yourself with him, though. You may want to speak with him. Let me think some more. There may be other work, of course. Lords and guildmasters often have other tasks we don't hear about. Also, the villagers around here frequently need help, although they'd be more likely to pay you with a wedge of cheese and goodwill than with cold, hard dinars. I'll keep my ears open for other opportunities. You may want to ask again from time to time.
Thanks. Now, there's one more person to talk to down here, but it's a packed house downstairs, and there's an upstairs. So there's a chance that someone spawned up here. I don't think so. That's sad. It's always nice to find a companion in the starting town. Let's talk to the last person. We know you, Merchant of Praven.
Sir, if you want to justify the trust which I have placed in you, then make a bit of haste. Go find some volunteers. I'm not sure how much time we have.
Okay, is that all you say? Okay. Well, he's sending me on my way. So, Before I go back to the town center, I'm going to end this one here because I do have some more people to talk to, and I feel bad that we haven't gotten to the actual game yet. But we're just doing like a little quick tour and seeing what the game has to offer when you go and meet people. So I hope you enjoy the slow game. I'm sorry this one's going to be a bit more cut up. I'm not exactly sure how I will be editing these, but we will find that out as the series goes on. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again. All right.